Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a few things that I want to share with you, and I have knitting and I have one crochet project, but the crochet project I've already gifted to the owner, so I don't have it with me, but I took some pictures, so I'm going to insert those towards the end so that you can see how it turned out. But first, I'm going to be sharing what I'm actively working on, which is this pullover. And this is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits. And this is how far I am with it. I'm enjoying working on this, but this is not the first time I've worked on this pullover. So this pattern was published in 2019. And as soon as it was published, I got myself a copy. And then I got some yarn and I knitted a small size. And that's 2019, so it's a while back. But as soon as I finished the pullover, I think I wasn't trying it on as I went. It was a little bit snug. And so I put it aside and I didn't wear it. I didn't block it. And then last year, I decided to frog it and redo it and make a large size. Actually, I'm making an extra large, but it's also because this yarn was a little bit pricey, and so I kept on thinking that I don't want that to just sit in my stash. I want to make something with it, but I also want to make something that actually works for me. And so I decided to go with an extra large because I don't want it to be very snug, but I also wanted to actually fit. This yarn was already in the original sweater and I flogged it, and I decided to work on the new large size, and I was surprised that I was able to frog the mohair without it breaking. I probably had just a couple of spots that it broke, but I managed to frog it, and I have a good chunk of the yarn. So what I'm doing is I am using the frogged yarn first, and then I have some leftover from the original. So this is what I have, and so I'm using that first. And then I have, from the original pullover, I had these two left. And this is Cascade Heritage. It's a fingering weight. I think I still have the label. So it's Cascade Heritage. And it's a fingering weight. And it comes in 100 grams skein. And it's 437 yards or 400 meters. And the yarn is, let me see, I think it's a wool nylon combination, but I can't really see it on the label. I think it's covered, it's blocked by this label here. And I got this a long time ago. Like I said, it's from 2019, so I've had it for a long time. And so I'm hoping that the yarn that I have is enough to complete this pullover. But my plan is to finish the body and then do the sleeves. And if I run out, then I'm gonna make them 3/4 sleeves. And then this one is a mohair, and this is the first time I've ever used mohair in a project. And I still have mixed feelings about it. I think I still have the label in here, but I am sure that this doesn't exist anymore because it's from 2019. So that's why I'm hoping that I have enough to complete this project. And this mohair is, I believe it's from the Farmer's Daughter. Yeah, it's Farmer's Daughter's fibers. And this is just 70% kid mohair and 30% silk, 459 yards. And the color name is called Wild Heart. Wild Heart Can Be Broken, that's the name. And this color name, which I love this blue so much. This color name is, well, this label is not being very friendly because I can't find, Oh, see, I found it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. But now I can't find the name. But if I find the name, I'll leave it there. I'm thinking that since this is a cascade yarn, you can still find it in store because it's one of their, it comes in multiple colors, and I don't think that it's one of those that will go out of I don't think it's one of those that they would discontinue. So I'm sure they still have these, but I don't know. Of course, it's not going to be the same lot number or die lot, but I still think that at least I know I could find that one. This is the one that I know for sure I might not be able to find. But I think I have enough of to complete this project. So the pattern is, it's a very nice pattern because it has sizes from 0 all the way to 5 extra large. So a lot of people will be able to make this. And then for the needles, it recommends a 7 or a US 10. But I am using US 8. That's what I got gauge with, and so that is what I'm using right now, and it's working perfectly. So I'll continue working on this, and then hopefully I will be able to finish it within the time that I've allocated for myself, because my plan or my goal this year is to finish a lot of the projects that have been sitting in my stash for a while. And if for some reason I feel like I cannot finish them, then I'm going to be flogging a lot of them and repurposing the yarn. And if I do that, then I'm going to share that with you so that I can have control of my whips, which I feel like they are all over the place. And I just want to at least either finish or frog. So that is the first thing that I wanted to share with you today. And then I'm going to share with you the next project that I just started recently. So I am so proud of myself because I was working on a sock that I think when I looked on Ravelry, I may have started it in May. And for some reason, this sock would not, refused to get finished. But I was able to finish that, which I'm going to show you shortly. And so I decided to cast on another vanilla sock. So this is like another toe-up sock, and I'm just knitting and letting the yarn do its thing. So I'm not gonna add any stitch pattern. I'm just gonna let this yarn just shine because I love the way it's looking. I love the colors and I love the texture. It feels really soft and nice. And this yarn is from my stash, which I bought for myself. This I got last year when I went to the Fiber Fest. It's one of the few skeins that I gifted myself. And it's just a random yarn from Needy Dyer, and I never bought from them before. And this is called RW Custom Yarn, and that's the label. And it's 85% merino wool and 15% nylon. It's a 4-ply, 437 yards in a 100 grams skein. It's a hard wash, laid down, hard wash, dry, flat, which for me, I always, when I'm doing socks, when I'm washing my socks, if they are wool socks, I don't put them in the washer. And so that is what I have. And this is just my basic toe-up socks. So I cast on 16, I increase to 68, and then I follow the pattern to do the heel. And this one is, I always make my socks with a gusset because that's the sock pattern or the sock design that fits my foot the best. So far I have just that much done, and I'm planning to, once I do the heel, I'm going to put this aside and cast on the other sock so that I'll get to that spot where you can just do mindless knitting and so that I can have something to grab and go. And I'm hoping that I can finish this also in the next maybe 1 month, maybe by the end of February, because I have a bunch of other socks that I have planned to make for myself this year. So that is going really well. And this color is called Petunia is the color. And if you've been here a while, you know that I love reds a lot. And so that is basically why I chose this skein, because I love the color and I love how it's turning out. And next I'm gonna be showing you what I finished, or what I was able to finally finish. These socks were really stubborn and I've been trying to finish them for a long time. But I think I cast on these in May and I kept on working on them, and then I kept on messing up. I actually, when I finished one, and then I got to the second one and I started knitting the calf, and I knit the calf 1 by 1 ribbing, even though the calf is 2 by 2. And I didn't realize that until I was like halfway done. And so I had to frog it and start it off again. But last week I was finally able to finish this, and I am so happy because I was just done with them. But then I was almost at the end and I didn't want to frog anything. And I also didn't want them to continue sitting in my whip pile. But I also think that one of the things that I did was, I think I used a size 0 for them. So they are very tight. I'm hoping that blocking them will loosen them a little bit, but they are also stretchy, so I'm not worried about it. So I am actually very, very happy that I am finished with this pair, because I know that I've had whips that have been in my stash for a long time, but this would just not get finished. I don't know, I always was encountering something with it. Either I messed up somewhere, or like I messed up the ribbing. But I am so glad that I am done with that. And this was yarn from my stash, and this is the yarn. So this is Crochet socks, and it's just one of those. I have a bunch of these in my stash, and the reason why I pulled this one was because it has this streak of red, and I wanted to see how that was gonna turn out. But also the yarn, you can feel the wool in it. So it's not as soft as the one I showed you previously. And this is just your regular sock yarn. I don't remember if this used to be at Hobby Lobby. I think probably that's where I got it. I can't really remember, but I have a whole drawer full of this sock yarn. And so I'm trying to go through them, or even I'm thinking about destashing them, or even like, instead of knitting socks with them, holding them with a plain yarn and maybe crocheting blankets. I don't know. So it has 75% wool and 25% nylon. So I think this is not merino wool, it's just regular wool. So you can really feel the wool in it, but it's what it is. And out of the two, I have these left. So this, combined with what I was using for the toes, which is this Knit Picks straw. This is what the yarn is. I've had this in my stash also. I can make another pair of socks, but I probably am done with this yarn. It might just go to my stash, and I'm planning to do a scrappy wool blanket, and this might end up in that pile. So that is my first finished object. And then I crocheted a blanket, a gift for gifting to my daughter. And I used yarn from my stash, which is this yarn here. So I had this in my stash for a long time, and so I crocheted a blanket for her with this. And this is the Caron latte cakes. Very soft, very fluffy, crochets really nicely. But since I've already gifted that blanket, I'm going to leave a picture of it here so that you can see. But this yarn is really nice to work with. But I also think that it crochets better than it knits, because I tried to knit with it a little bit, because I was trying to see if I can make a blanket with it, knitting, but I feel like it's a little slippery when you're knitting with it. It's just slippery, and so when I was using my Addies, it was just feeling so slick, and so I'm trying to use this bamboo to see if it's gonna feel better. But it has a very nice fabric. It's lightweight. It's classified as a 5, I believe. Yeah, it's classified as a 5, but it doesn't knit as a 5. It feels actually like a 4, but I think they classify it as a 5 because of all this fluffiness. But it's very soft, it's very nice. It frogs really easily. So if you're planning to, if you're looking for something to make a baby blanket, this would be ideal. So I'm gonna leave a picture of the blanket that I made over here, and then you can see how it turned out, because it turned out really nicely, and I still have some of these left, so I'm planning on crocheting another blanket with it. So I'm gonna leave a picture here and let you see how everything turned out.